Hello, this is a demonstration of Portara's API integrating into the new Smart Quant framework for professional CTAs and C# developers. In Open Quant 2014, all these solutions are independently openable in Visual Studio, which means that you can easily set breakpoints in the loops between your trades and investigate and corroborate what is going on. So let us open the Bollinger Band strategy in Visual Studio and we'll take a look at the API calls to Portara and how easy it all is. Here we have the Bollinger Band strategy for Smart Quant Open in Visual Studio, and the first thing you do is very simply you just point to the PortaraAPI and bring this in as a reference. You will set using PortaraAPI at the top and then create an object in which to work with inside Smartquant. So I'm going to press the F5 key to run that, and you can see it stopped there. So we create the object. Now I've ran off some data in Portara, and if you don't know how to do that, that's subject to another demonstration outside of this one, but the data resides in this file. I've ran off bean oil and British pound and corn, a typical example of how the file would look. This is some 5-minute bars going back in history for a couple of years in the required format, and all this is templatable inside Portara. And once that's done, what we need to do is we're going to be accessing this data in an integrated way within Smartquant. So I'm going to leave that to the side, and if we look at the first call, it's simply get symbols list. We click through there, and if we look at what's in that loop, we can just see bean oil, BP and corn like we've just seen. The next call here, get commodity rolled contract names list, will do exactly what it is, and it will go and get those names. And there is, in this case, because we've got BP set up here, we're only going to be looking at the one symbol, 5-minute symbol from the intraday database and with the extension on. So it's gone into that continuous file, and it knows it's made up of in this particular case 5 actual contracts underlying that symbol, so you can go and get those if you wish. So that shows you an example there. Now Smartquant users have something called Sellside Strategy, which allows them to look at some strategies rolling into the next contract forward, and Portara is fully geared up to utilize that framework for them. If you go into the main user interface to set that, you go to default settings and you place it into Smartquant Sellside mode as so, and it's as simple as that. Everything else is taken care of behind the scenes. So the result of using that is eventually you will end up with some data in your Sellside Strategy folder within Portara. And if we look at the 5 minutes you've got, we'll just focus on the British pound there. There is the actual data for the next available contract in the series going forward, which is BPA 2015U, and the look back period in there is enough for you to make strategic decisions going forward. So let's take a look at how that works. Exactly where we were, we're just going to roll forward, and I'm going to go, the first thing we need to do here is look at what the current and the next contract names are. So we're going to send in, our symbol is BP, and it's going to come back with what our current and next are there. So a current contract in the back adjusted series is 2015M, and the next contract, and it knows, so if you're on something like crude oil and you're jumping over contracts, it knows not to give you the one that you don't want. It knows behind the scenes using Portara, and it's all going to appear in that folder that I've just showed you here in exactly the right format and framework, and with your session markers that you do and don't want, and it's all done. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is be able to call that data into Smartquant by referencing what you've just done here. So our current contract data is here, and it's simply now in that object, and there's 4,571 objects. There's the first of the bars showing you the data laying there, and we simply go through into the next contract data, and there's now BP 2015 year with the data that has in. Alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue that strategy and press the F5 key and bring the black box back, and this is going to just loop through those and do the magic inside Smart Quant, and there it is, it's finished. The data run, it gives you the count. So everything here is clear, and we can now go back to the Smart Quant user interface. Okay, we're back inside OpenQuant 2014. We click on Bollinger Bands and we shall open the scenario for the back test and just scroll down to the relevant area. Now in here there is the Portara object, the symbols list, and then I've developed here as a loop to go and read that data and just populate the charts and run the strategy on those three symbols that you saw. So first of all, let us just compile that up, and then we shall run it, and away it goes. Okay, and now that it's finished, we shall go up to View and Chart Gapless, just to give us an idea of the charting and how Portara looks with all the data now in it. Okay, then this is the 5-minute bar that you've been seeing during this presentation, all the way back. You can see it all there. You can go in here and just click down to the British pound and also to corn in this particular case, and there's the strategy in there working for you. Okay, thank you.